You've heard it a million times, right? That communication is mostly nonverbal. It's a fact that's been hammered into us in business seminars, self-help books, you name it. But have you ever stopped to wonder where that idea actually came from? And is there any truth to it? So let's just ask it straight up. Is it really true? Does what you say barely even matter compared to how you say it? Is communication genuinely 93% body language and tone of voice? Because we've been told it is for years. But is that the whole story? I think you know where this is going. 93%. It's such a specific, powerful number, isn't it? It just sticks in your head. The idea is so simple. The vast, vast majority of your message isn't in your words, but in your posture, your gestures, your tone. But whenever you see a number that clean, that definitive, it's probably a good idea to ask, okay, what's the catch? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to trace this famous myth back to its source. We'll get to the truth behind those numbers, then we'll look at when words are actually king and figure out the real reasons we misunderstand each other. And we'll wrap it all up with a practical toolkit for getting your point across. All right, first up, the famous myth. So where in the world did this powerful idea even come from? Let's do a little detective work and go back to the source. So this statistic, the whole thing, it comes from some research done back in the 1970s by a professor named Albert Mehrabian. His studies came up with this very specific breakdown. When we're talking about feelings and emotions, 55% of the message comes through facial expressions, 38% from our tone of voice, and only a measly 7% from the actual words we speak. And of course, if you add that 55 and 38 together, boom, you get that magic number, 93%. But here is the catch. And honestly, it's a huge one. Mehrabian was not studying all communication, not even close. He was looking at a very, very specific situation called emotional incongruence. You know exactly what this is. It's when someone's words say one thing, but their body and tone scream something totally different. Like when you ask a friend if they're okay, and they slump their shoulders, sigh, and mumble, "I'm fine." That specific mismatch is all he was testing. And that, right there, is how the myth was born. This tiny, specific finding got yanked completely out of its original context and was sold as this universal rule for all human interaction. But as we all know, communication is just never that simple. Context is everything. In fact, you don't have to take my word for it. Mehrabian himself has spent years trying to set the record straight. His point was never that words don't matter. It was that when words and body language are fighting each other, we tend to believe the body language. It's a rule for contradictions, not for every single conversation you have. Okay, so if the 93% rule really only applies when someone is being sarcastic or sending mixed signals, then when do our words actually take center stage? Well, the simple answer is pretty much all the time. I mean, just think about it for a second. If you're giving instructions to a pilot on how to land a plane, do you want them guessing your meaning from your facial expression? Absolutely not. You need precise, unambiguous words. The same thing goes for legal contracts, for emails, or even just a regular phone call where you can't see the other person. In all these cases, words are just important. They're everything. So if we can't blame all our communication problems on this simple 93-7 split, then what is going on? What are the real reasons we're constantly misunderstanding each other? Well, the truth is, misinterpretation is messy. A simple thumbs up might mean awesome where you live, but it's a massive insult in other parts of the world. We see everything through our own personal filter, our culture, our experiences. And a lot of the time, we just completely ignore the context of a situation, and we fall back on these lazy generalizations that just don't work. Come on, we've all done this. We see one little cue and we jump to a massive conclusion. Oh, that person has their arms crossed, so they must be angry or defensive. But what if they're just cold? Or what if that's just how they're comfortable standing? We try to apply these simple little decoder ring rules to incredibly complex human beings. And more often than not, we get it totally wrong. So let's just agree to stop trying to be body language detectives, okay? The real goal isn't to decode people, it's to connect with them. So here's a simple toolkit to help us do exactly that. First, just be aware that gestures can mean wildly different things in different cultures. Second, fight that urge to make a snap judgment. Instead, take a breath and consider the entire context. Where are you? What are you talking about?
Third, remember that everyone's different. My fidgeting might mean I'm nervous, but someone else's might just mean they're thinking. And number five, the most important one. If you're ever unsure what someone means by a look or a gesture, use the most powerful communication tool we have, our words. Just ask.
And at the end of the day, this is really what it all boils down to. Effective communication isn't some secret code you have to crack. It's just about being present, paying attention to the whole person, their words, their tone, their actions, and then having the courage to ask for clarity when you need it. It's about listening with genuine curiosity, not with an agenda.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think about your own conversations, at work, at home, with your friends. What might change for you? What might open up if you shifted your focus away from trying to decode every little movement and instead just focused on connecting with the actual person right in front of you?